Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Las Vegas Raider training camp video. Today was a little bit different. It was indoors today, but a lot of news, a lot of notes that we're going to go over in this video. Before we deep dive into the news, notes, highlights, observations from today, I do ask a little bit of a favor from you guys, and I want to give credit where credit is due. Jesse Merrick, your boy Q, these guys do such a good job kind of covering this team and giving us footage and notes and news and everything, right? So make sure you guys go follow them for more updates throughout the entirety of practice, because they will keep you guys updated. We also heard some more news about Christian Wilkins yesterday, and it's a little bit weird. I'm not going to discuss in the video, but it's a little bit cringy, but it is what it is. Now with that being said, let's kind of just dive into another day in Vegas for Raiders practice. We also got some big news here regarding Jack Bech. The specials team coordinator was very high on his ability because of his physicality, and they do believe that he could contribute on special teams a little bit day one. Not saying he's not going to be a receiver for them. I'm not saying he's not going to play a lot, but I think he is someone that they are wanting to utilize on special teams a little bit this season, which is interesting. And according to Jesse Merrick, he says that Tom here said Jack Bech is such an asset for them as a special teamer because of how physical he plays. You don't always see that out of receivers, but you definitely see it here out of Jack Bech, which is something I took note of from today's practice. Also got to see a little bit more of the linebacker core, brand new by the way. You got Landon Roberts, you got Jermaine Pratt, obviously you have Devin White as well. I mean, these guys are brand new to the system, brand new here. And, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys work. And then, on top of that, you look at Jamal Adams, who, yes, is more of like a safety, plays in the box and playing the nickel at times in certain situations, not all the time. But he's actually with the linebackers a lot during team activities. So, I expect a lot of versatility, dime packages specifically for Jamal Adams. But how do you guys rate this brand new linebacker core here in Vegas at 1 through 10? What do you grade it, or not grade it, but rate it going into the season? Now, Chip Kelly has been fascinated with Brock Bowers in the amount of different positions that he can play. He actually said he is positionless, right? He's a guy that can line up in the backfield, in line. He can line up in the slot. He can line up on the outside. He can line up anywhere. And I think Chip Kelly is already dreaming about ways to utilize him in-game just to create mismatches and opportunities. But the good news is that not only can you utilize him pretty much anywhere on the football field offensively, but you also have depth at the tight end position. So if you wanted to move him around in a couple of different formations, you still have Michael Mayer. And guess what? Ian Thomas has been looking really good as well. So Chip Kelly is having a great time with this tight end room. Expect 3 tight ends to play a good amount this year. I don't know if they're going to run too much 13 personnel, but if you did, you'd have a lot of passing versatility upside with a couple of guys that can really run block as well. So I wouldn't be surprised at all, actually, if we did see 13 personnel with this offense going into next season under Chip Kelly. Now, this is something that Jesse Merrick tweeted that I found pretty interesting. He said, it kind of feels like Jacorian Bennett is the odd man out of the cornerback room. He doesn't fit the size profile of Pete Carroll. Obviously, Pete likes those big, tall, lengthy DBs like the Darien Porters, Darien Porters, or even, you know, DeCamerion Richardson, I feel like is a really good fit under Pete Carroll as well because of the length that he adds to this team pretty much right away. We've seen him take reps with the 1s, 2s, and 3s already, so like you said, a lot of shuffling around the CB room, but this isn't something that we shouldn't see. Obviously, as a new coach here in Pete Carroll, you want to experiment with different lineups every single day. You only get so much time to see how these other guys perform in certain situations. So although he's practicing with the 1s, 2s, and 3s, it doesn't mean he's done. It doesn't mean that he's fallen off the depth chart. They just want to see how different guys work with the first team, or how some guys work with the second team instead of the first team and whatnot. So maybe that's something that we should take with a grain of salt, or maybe not. Let me know what you guys think about that. But also, make sure you guys do me a big time favor. hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and we will be covering this Raiders team throughout the entirety of the offseason. Not only are we going to cover the rest of training camp, but once preseason football is here, we're going to be breaking down some all 22 coaches film. In terms of that, we're also going to break down regular season games as well. So if you want more Raiders content, join the family. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And let's kind of dive back into the video. Here's a little bit of Jamal Adams going through some drills again, working out with the linebackers. He is so interesting in my eyes for Patrick Graham. I don't know where they're going to put him in certain situations, but it seems like a dime linebacker. I think you can move him all over the football field because of his speed, his versatility, and his ability to come up near the line of scrimmage and just make plays. Yes, he's getting up there in age, about 29 years old at this point. Might not be the youngest guy in the world, but this is a guy that can play football at a high level still. So I'm definitely excited to see how he pans out in this defense this year. It's going to be, I mean, look at Tyree Wilson as well. He's a big dude. A lot of people saying, well, why is he playing interior? He can fit. Look at him. He's a big dude. So this defense is going to be so interesting this season. I can't wait to see how it all kind of falls in and plans out, or pans out, I should say. It's going to be intriguing. Big news here. Jesse Merrick again tweets out, the Jordan Meredith versus Jackson Powers Johnson battle at center might be a real thing. Last year, towards the end of last year, Jordan Meredith actually was pretty damn good. And they do like Jackson Powers Johnson a lot. But they're going to put whoever's going to give them the best opportunity to win games this year. Meredith back working with the ones for walkthrough portion. JPJ worked with the ones yesterday. Again, it's not a crazy thing to see a coach go through a bunch of position groups and just rotate guys in and out. The one thing he's saying every day is, hey, competition. We're going to make sure this is competitive. We're going to make sure guys are not just given the keys to a job. And this is the start of it right here. Jackson Powers Johnson, a guy that we all thought was going to be a superstar, and he still is a superstar. He can be a superstar, right? But he's got to compete. He's got to come in here and prove himself every day. Also, DeCamry Robertson stacked 2 good days of practice together and is getting work opposite of Eric Stokes with the ones to start practice. Again, going to be a lot of guys cycling in opposite Stokes, but feels like DeCamry and Darien Porter are leading that battle. That is interesting. That is very, very interesting. So maybe potentially Eric Stokes, DeCamry, Darien Porter start the season. That's very intriguing. I mean, Darien Porter, DeCamry are two guys that kind of fit the mold of what Pete Carroll likes in a DB. Right, so 11-on-11 start. Devin White gets a pick in red zone period. It was down one of the outside lanes too, so he was deep in coverage. I think it would have been a sack, but they let the play keep going. That's usually how things pan out. They want that quarterback to eventually just get that ball out, right? Just get it out. So Devin White with an interception. Seems like today is a day Pete and the staff are giving everyone a shot in 7-on-7s right now. They've got a mixed group of guys from the 1s, 2s, and 3s working with Geno Smith. Again, competition. Get guys in there. Rotate them in. This is how practice should be run with this team. And there were a lot of sacks today. Let me show you that. Okay, so Max Crosby just sacked Geno Smith. Devin White just sacked Geno Smith. While I was tweeting, as I pointed out yesterday, Geno tends to hold on to the ball a little bit too long sometimes, not all the time. Let's go through a little bit more of Mike Dixon. This is another guy you guys should follow if you haven't already done so. Does a great job with this team. Aiden O'Connell put some heat on the ball to Alex Bachman. A scuffle broke out. Jacorian Bennett and Justin Shorter. Max ran over to defend JB. Max is not having any BS. Raiders linebacker Landon Roberts just shut down Ashton Jeanty at the line of scrimmage with a big hit. Raiders cornerback Vance Greedy just intercepted Aiden O'Connell. Vance is greedy and hungry. He's constantly making plays at camp, but that seems to be a big thing at practice today. Defense came out swinging. Sacks, picks. They were doing some really big time things. So defense definitely taking a step up today, but make sure you guys go follow all these reporters. There's going to be so much more news coming out over the next 10 minutes or so, but I'm going to end the video here. So hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.